12 foods you should never eat on a cruise ship. One bite on a cruise ship can turn a dream vacation into days stuck in your cabin. Today, we're exposing the foods you should never eat on a cruise ship, including one healthy option that causes more onboard illness than people realize. Most cruisers start their day with this, and don't realize it quietly drains their energy. The problem isn't breakfast, it's what breakfast actually is. 1. Buffet scrambled eggs. Most cruisers don't realize this, but those fluffy scrambled eggs at the buffet often aren't cracked fresh that morning. On large ships, they're usually made from liquid egg mixtures designed for consistency, long storage, and speed, not digestion. These products are heavily processed, higher in sodium, and stabilized to sit under heat lamps for long periods. The result? Your stomach works harder than it should, especially on a moving ship where digestion already slows slightly. That's why so many people feel bloated, barmant, or uneasy before their day even starts. Breakfast sets the tone. The frustrating part is that others blame seasickness or poor sleep, not realizing it started on their plate. Cruise kitchens do offer better options, but they're easy to overlook in the rush of the buffet line. Skip the tray eggs and choose made-to-order omelets or hard-boiled eggs. Fewer additives, better digestion, smoother mornings. That single decision can change your entire day on board. 2. Pre-cut fruit from open trays. Picture a brightly lit buffet with colorful fruit piled high. Watermelon, pineapple, cantaloupe, looking fresh and refreshing. But once fruit is cut, it loses its natural protective barrier, and bacteria can grow quickly, especially in warm, humid environments like cruise ships. Melons are particularly risky because bacteria on the rind gets dragged across the flesh during slicing. Then the trays sit out for hours while hundreds of hands pass by. Exposure multiplies risk. What makes this dangerous is how innocent it feels. People choose fruit thinking they're being careful, not realizing it's one of the most commonly flagged foods during onboard illness investigations. Refrigeration helps, but constant opening, closing, and refilling weakens that protection fast. Choose whole fruits you peel yourself or sealed fruit cups prepared by staff. 2 simple layers of safety, 1 easy habit. Healthy choices work best when they're also handled smartly. This next one surprises people because it feels like the healthy choice. But on cruises, healthy-looking food can be the most dangerous. 3. Self-serve salad bars. Imagine stepping up to a salad bar during lunch rush. The lettuce looks crisp, the toppings are colorful, and everything feels like the safest option in the room. But behind the scenes, salad bars are one of the most common sources of onboard food-related illness. Raw vegetables don't get cooked, which means there's no final step to kill bacteria. Add shared utensils, constant passenger traffic, and temperature fluctuations, and the risk compounds quickly. One sneeze, one unwashed hand, one rushed refill, that's all it takes. Raw isn't automatically safe. What catches people off guard is that salads feel responsible. Cruise doctors regularly report that outbreaks often trace back to foods people chose to be careful. The danger isn't the vegetables themselves, it's the exposure. Order salads plated by staff or choose cooked vegetables instead. Less handling, more control, fewer regrets. Sometimes the safest choice looks less healthy at first glance. 4. Soft-serve ice cream machines. Have you ever noticed that soft-serve ice cream on cruises melts faster or tastes slightly off compared to land? That's not your imagination. These machines rely on strict cleaning schedules and precise temperature control, and on a busy ship, both can slip. Inside the machine are long tubes that must be sanitized thoroughly. Miss one cleaning cycle, and bacteria can grow out of sight. Cold doesn't equal clean. The problem isn't the ice cream itself, it's maintenance under pressure. During peak hours, machines run non-stop, and small lapses add up quickly. Children love it, adults trust it, and symptoms don't show up until later, when no one connects the dots. Choose hard-scooped ice cream from sealed freezers or desserts prepared fresh by staff. Colder storage, fewer hidden variables. That small switch protects more evenings than people realize. On land, this is a preference. At sea, it's a gamble most people don't realize they're taking. 5. Rare or medium rare burgers. On land, ordering a burger medium rare feels like a personal preference. On a cruise ship, it's a risk calculation most passengers don't realize they're making. Cruise kitchens cook in massive batches, often using pre-ground beef that's been shipped, stored, and handled far longer than restaurant meat on shore. When beef is ground, bacteria on the surface gets mixed throughout, which means undercooking removes the final safety barrier. Add a moving kitchen, high-volume service, and peak-hour pressure, and the margin for error shrinks fast. At sea, fully cooked matters more. Many passengers blame seasickness or a bad day when stomach issues hit later, never connecting it to lunch. Order burgers well done or switch to grilled chicken or fish. Less guesswork, more control, fewer consequences. That choice protects the rest of your voyage. 6. Cream-based soups. Creamy soups feel like comfort food, especially on breezy sea days, but they're also among the hardest items to keep food safe. Dairy requires tight temperature control, and even brief dips below safe heat allow bacteria to multiply quickly. On ships, soups may be prepared in large batches, transferred between stations, and left on warmers for long stretches. Rough seas only complicate consistency. Warm isn't always safe. The risk doubles when soups look fine but aren't hot enough all the way through. That's what makes them deceptive. Choose clear broths or soups made to order. Lighter digestion, safer holding temperatures, smoother sailing. Comfort should never come with regret. This one looks elegant, light, and vacation-worthy, but it breaks more food safety rules than almost anything else on board. 7. Buffet sushi. Sushi feels like the perfect cruise food. Light, elegant, and easy on the stomach. But in reality, it's one of the most technically demanding foods to handle safely, especially in a buffet environment. Raw fish must stay cold, rice must stay warm, and neither should sit out longer than a short window. On cruise buffets, sushi often breaks all three rules at once. Display cases open constantly, temperatures fluctuate, and staff rotate trays instead of remaking them. Even small delays give bacteria time to grow, long before anything smells or looks wrong. Timing is everything. What makes buffet sushi especially dangerous is how much passengers trust it. If it's neatly arranged and looks fresh, people assume it's safe. Cruise medical staff quietly disagree. Sushi is one of the first foods doctors recommend skipping during outbreaks. If you want sushi, order it only from a dedicated onboard restaurant where it's made fresh to order, or avoid it entirely. Convenience isn't worth the risk. 8. Shellfish on port days. Many cruisers hear fresh local seafood in port and assume it's safer than anything on board. But shellfish is one of the fastest foods to spoil, especially in warm coastal climates near cruise terminals. Oysters, clams, and mussels are extremely sensitive to temperature and handling, and quality control varies widely at restaurants built for rapid tourist turnover. One mishandled delivery, one rushed prep window, and the risk spikes sharply. Fresh doesn't mean controlled. What makes port day shellfish especially risky is timing. Symptoms often don't appear for hours, sometimes not until the ship has already departed. That means you're dealing with severe food poisoning while at sea, with limited medical resources and no easy way back to shore. Save shellfish for reputable onboard restaurants or highly rated port eateries well away from terminals. Not quick stops built for speed. Location matters as much as freshness. If you think drinks are safer than food, this one flips that assumption fast, because some of the biggest risks come in a cup. 9. Pitcher-based beverages. You grab a cup, slide it under the spout, and fill it with lemonade or iced tea. Easy, refreshing, and seemingly harmless. But pitcher-based beverages are one of the most overlooked food safety risks on cruise ships. These drinks are often refilled throughout the day rather than fully emptied and cleaned. Sugar feeds bacteria, melting ice slowly raises the temperature, and the spouts themselves get touched hundreds of times by wet hands. Over hours, that combination quietly turns drinks into bacterial breeding grounds. Liquids hide problems well. What makes this dangerous is timing. You don't feel sick immediately, so the drink never gets blamed. Symptoms show up later when no one connects the dots. Cruise sanitation teams monitor food aggressively, but beverage dispensers are harder to control during peak hours. Choose sealed cans, bottles, or drinks poured fresh by staff. 2 safer options. 1 simple habit. Hydration should never come with risk. 10. Late-night buffet food. What happens to buffet food after midnight when supervision thins and most passengers head to their cabins? Often it sits. Late-night buffets are convenient, but they're usually stocked with food prepared hours earlier and rotated forward to reduce waste. Temperature control slips, covers get left open, and fewer staff are around to monitor safety. That quiet window creates the perfect conditions for bacterial growth. Convenience has consequences. Late-night hunger also lowers judgment. After shows or drinks, people grab what's available instead of what's smart. The problem isn't eating late, it's eating food that's been waiting. Stick to made-to-order late-night options, room service, or packaged snacks. Less exposure, better sleep, fewer regrets. Smart cravings win at sea. This has nothing to do with spice tolerance and everything to do with motion. The ocean changes how your body reacts to food. 11. Extra spicy or ultra-rich dishes. Many people assume that if they tolerate spicy or rich food at home, they'll be fine on a cruise. But the ocean quietly changes how your body processes meals. Constant motion affects digestion, blood flow, and balance, even when seas are calm. Add heavy cream sauces, deep-fried foods, or extreme spice, and your digestive system has to work overtime. The result can be heartburn, nausea, dizziness, or fatigue that feels suspiciously like seasickness. The ocean changes digestion. What makes this tricky is misdiagnosis. Passengers blame the ship, the weather, or motion alone, not realizing food choices amplified the reaction. Alcohol, heat, and long days make the effect even stronger. Save ultra-spicy and heavy dishes for port days, and choose lighter meals while sailing. Your stomach and balance will cooperate better. Smooth sailing starts on your plate. 12. Anything you feel unsure about. Here's the rule experienced cruisers follow without realizing it. Hesitation is information. If a food looks tired, smells slightly off, feels lukewarm, or makes you pause, even for a second, your instincts are already processing risk. Most people ignore that signal out of politeness, convenience, or fear of wasting food. On a cruise, that hesitation is often the moment you should walk away. Your gut knows first. Cruise ships offer endless options, which means skipping one plate costs you nothing. The biggest food mistakes happen when people override instinct to stay polite or keep pace with others. If you hesitate, choose something else without guilt. 2 seconds of doubt can save days of recovery. Trust beats tradition every time. Cruise ships aren't unsafe, habits are. Most food problems don't come from the kitchen. They come from volume, exposure time, and small judgment calls repeated daily. When you choose freshly made food, sealed drinks, and listen to your instincts, cruising becomes smoother, lighter, and far more enjoyable. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not professional travel, medical, or financial advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.